Today we're going to test and rank the best-selling retinols on NYKAA. Thousands of you asked me to make this video and now we're doing it. I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan, a medically qualified doctor and a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of color. I'm going to tell you which ones have the correct percentage actives in the formula, which ones have the correct packaging to make sure it's effective, and which ones have the correct co-ingredients. And there is no retinol in this product. This is terrible. This would be actually illegal in the UK to do this. And yes, this is a non-sponsored channel, which means I don't accept payment from anyone ever, and I pay for everything myself. Retinol, or the whole vitamin A family, is actually a multi-benefit ingredient. It helps with acne by reducing sticky skin cells, which is what clogs the pores. It helps with hyperpigmentation because it helps to calm down the melanocyte and bring it back to normal. And it helps with fine lines because what it does is stimulates collagen production. So there are 5 key things to look for on the checklist with your retinol. Number 1, you want your retinol to be encapsulated. This means you have better penetration into your waxy skin layer, but also minimal irritation. And that is important for my skin of color family because it means that we don't want any more hyperpigmentation from irritation and inflammation. Number 2, the percentage is very important. When you're a beginner, start at 0.1%. When you become more advanced, go up to 0.3%. I don't recommend more than that for skin of color because that can also lead to more hyperpigmentation. In fact, what I would say is then to step up to retinaldehyde. Retinaldehyde works 10 times faster than retinol, but with 0 irritation. And that's why I tend to formulate with it in my own products. The downside with retinaldehyde is that it is very expensive. The third thing to look for is to ensure it's NAF safe. Retinol is an alcohol. It's very irritating. This means you don't look for anything else in there that could potentially also irritate the skin. You want to avoid essential oils, for example. You definitely want to avoid fragrance. And you also want to avoid any exfoliating acids simultaneously with a strong retinol. Number 4 is packaging. Packaging is incredibly important with retinol because it's an antioxidant. That means it oxidizes in oxygen. And so this means that you want airless packaging. You don't want any oxygen around the product or the retinol itself. And the 5th thing to look for is make sure it's an anti-inflammatory formula. So you want other ingredients in there that soothe the skin. Things like Centella asiatica, things like panthenol, things like aloe. So when you buy your retinol, have a quick look at the back, look at the packaging and ensure it ticks the checklist. Now we're going to assess which are the best and which are the worst on NYKAA. Starting off with Plum. This is such a famous brand in India, actually. So many people have asked me to review this product. It does have a safety seal. Just give me one second. Oh, this is strong packaging. Okay, so it's got bakuchiol and retinol at 1%. Oh no, it's high. Oh, interesting. Is it leaking? Oh no. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that's not good. Can you see? Looks like glass as well. Yeah, that might be a problem. The product is already out, which is not good. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so let me open this up. Yeah, this is not airless packaging, it's a straw. It smells not bad, actually. Oh no. It's not terrible. It's more raw actives. All right, let's see what's in here. So in here, the first ingredient is water, which makes sense. So with all your formulas, you're going to see aqua as the first ingredient because that's your solvent. It's a universal solvent of water-soluble ingredients. But you tend to find that retinols are never clear because they are fat-soluble. This means that it becomes an emulsion. And when it's an emulsion, it becomes like a yellow color or a white color. It's not clear anymore. So that's the difference between when you see a serum that's clear, those are water-soluble actives, versus a serum which is a bit yellowy because they're fat-soluble. So in here, we've got water, aloe, so that's good. It's your anti-inflammatory. It's got humectants, so those are your water magnets, which is very important with retinol. You get increased cell turnover, which dries the skin out. So actually you want humectants. It's got emollients in it, which I love, so that will condition the skin. The 7th ingredient in here is retinol palmitate, which is vitamin A. So it's not retinol in here. And they've written here, retinol serum 1%. They've written in here, retinol serum 1%. Hold on, is the packaging different? Retinol palmitate. So they've got retinol palmitate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th, 7th ingredient in here is retinol palmitate. Yes, that's the same as their website. And there is no retinol in this product. This is terrible. This would be actually illegal in the UK to do this. This is false advertising. You cannot write 1% of an ingredient and not put the ingredient in the product itself. So I don't really know how they're getting away with this, and I don't know why no one's picked up on this. This is Plum. I think it's good if you guys want to email me and let me know what's going on here, because this is really terrible. And retinol palmitate is the weakest form of vitamin A. I love retinol palmitate as a co-vitamin A, but it's the least powerful form of vitamin A. And you absolutely cannot write 1% retinol serum when there's no retinol in the product. So this is one to avoid, and I'm very disappointed in that, but hopefully the rest of the products will be better than that. Moving on to Dot & Key. So hopefully this one will be better. Okay, so they've written Pomegranate Miracle Collagen Boost Retinol Youth Serum with Collagen Peptides. Okay, so again with the pipette. They do have cute packaging. I mean, I'm definitely going to give it. I mean, that's such a cute pink. But come on, Dot & Key, you know this is an antioxidant. Let's get this into Ella's packaging next time. There's a lovely formula. Comes out smooth, evenly, and penetrates nicely. Let's see what's in here. So the positives of this is that it's NAF safe. No denatured alcohol, no fragrance, no essential oils. But the packaging's not ideal, obviously. They've put 0.9% retinol, which is very high. And in fact, the EU, we've actually banned anything more than 0.3% from November. So this wouldn't even be allowed in the UK, actually. Well, for their reasons, but actually for our research and for skin of color, anything more than 0.3% can lead to irritation and more hyperpigmentation, the exact opposite thing of what we're trying to do here. Okay, so oh no, they also put in polyvinyl alcohol, and that can aggravate the skin. And you never put, remember I said at the beginning, never ever put an irritant with retinol, which is already irritating. So unfortunately, guys, this is one to avoid. As cute as this packaging is, the formula is less than ideal. Moving on to Foxtale, 599 rupees. I do like that they always put cellophane on. I've just filmed their vitamin C on NYKAA. And they did the same thing, actually. So make sure you go and watch that video if you haven't, because that was a very interesting video. Let's see what they've done here. Call it Retinol Night Serum, 0.15% retinol. Okay, so it's a good percentage. Ooh, very good. Foxtale with the packaging. I don't know, it's dusty, but beautiful packaging, very Instagrammable, and more importantly, airless packaging. So well done. And this is the thing, guys, because a lot of the cosmetic formulators from all these brands do follow this channel. If you can imagine how many different types of packaging I'm showing you, and a lot of them are pipettes, they tend to just sort of look the same, and you want to look different actually on social media. And airless pumps do a great job of that, because actually you can change the color of the entire packaging. So not only is it you're going to get better results from your customers, but actually you probably make better sales as well. Oh, here we go again. This is the only downside, is this. Give it a second, it catches. It's the same issue I had in my vitamin C video. I think it was like, how long? Like 3 minutes. So like this. It's gonna come any second now. Oh my dear Lord. Gosh. I can't even complain. Same thing happens with my products because it's airless pumps. This is insane, actually. Goodness me, what is going on here? It's going to give you arthritis, guys. I don't know about your skin, but your joints are going to be in pain. I can't. This is crazy. Checking now, guys. Has to be a product. It is. It's just not pumping out. There is product. Oh, my Lord. Okay, look, I'm just going to show you how it is now. We've got more videos to film. I can't sit here all day, Foxtale. That's what it looks like. Okay, so it's okay smell. It's raw ingredients. All right, let's see what's in here. Airless packaging, which is good. 599 rupees, so good price. 0.15% retinol, very happy with that percentage. Very simple formula. There's actually no other actives in here. The negatives are the inky list is wrong. Have a quick look at this, guys. Can you see the word and? All those ands in the inky list. Whenever you see ands like this on an ingredients list, it's wrong. Let me explain it. The inky list is in descending order. So imagine, for example, you're going to make a vegetable biryani dish, okay? And I tell you to write the inky list of the vegetable biryani dish. If you're going to write a cooking recipe, you would write the vegetables and the rice, and that's what was in it. But if you're going to write the inky list of it, you would then have to calculate how many grams of protein in each vegetable and how much was put in, how many grams of fat in each vegetable and the rice, and calculate that together. You would add up how many grams of carbohydrate in every single vegetable and the rice. And then what you do is you add up all the fats together, that would be how much fat in that dish. You would add up the protein and you would add up the carbohydrates. And then you would list that in descending order. That would then be the inky list, right? That's the composition of that dish. It's not a recipe, it's a composition. What they've done here is they've basically given you a recipe. This is incorrect because now you don't actually know if they've gone over, like for example, how much fats was in the product over the legal amount. You won't know unless you actually add it up. And that's a red flag, because what that shows is if you can't actually write an ingredients list, how am I supposed to trust what's in the product? You know, it's a signaling mechanism. It's a little bit like if you don't have good packaging, how can I trust what's inside the product? And this is one of the signals, especially when it comes to skincare. You have to get it right. You have to get the ingredients list right, because otherwise the consumer doesn't know what they're buying and you actually lose credibility. So that's a problem. Foxtale, fix all of your inky lists. Don't forget, I am in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every YouTube video. So when you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can come and ask me your skincare questions. Moving on to Minimalist. So Minimalist have done very well with all of their products actually. So let's see how they have done with this. So here they've got 0.3% retinol, 0.6% retinol, and then Gran Active 2%. I think the only downside with this is it can be very confusing what to buy, what not to buy, what works, which is better than what for your skin. So we're going to go through it now. 0.3%, basically they've written a very simple ingredients list. It's got squalane first, which is an emollient and the solvent basically, which I love. Squalane is one of my favorite oils, to be honest. It's non-irritating. It's skin identical, and actually I even love it for the scalp. It's one of the few oils I like for the hair, for the scalp itself. Then they've put in triglycerides, which are great. Then bakuchiol at 1%, which is excellent. They've also put in retinol at 0.3%. So that is like the maximum we would be allowed in the UK and EU now. And then they put in coenzyme Q10, which I love as well. In fact, I use that in my antioxidant power serum with my retinaldehyde. It's a beautiful formula. It is NAF safe, no denatured alcohol, no fragrance, no essential oils. The only downside for this is even though they've put it in an opaque bottle to prevent UV light from hitting it, it's not in an airless pump. If they put this 0.3% into an airless pump, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Or at least I'd give it a nice 8 out of 10. I generally don't give 10 out of 10s, but 8 out of 10 because it's a nice simple formula. It doesn't have many other actives in it. That's what I kind of love for you guys, but I like the formula. So the packaging for me is not great, but they did well with the formula. Okay, compare this to the 0.6%. So this is actually too high for my Skin of Color family. Let me show you what it looks like. Again, it's a very simple formula, but rather than going up to 0.6% retinol, I'd rather you jumped to retinaldehyde. It even feels very similar, actually. It is pilling a little bit, but that might happen. I don't know if you can see that. Becoming a bit, yeah. The smell's not too bad, but for me, this is too strong for my Skin of Color family. Moving on to Gran Active Retinoid. They did very well with the packaging here. Well done, guys. Airless pump, love it. There we go, coming out nice. Super. Obviously, you won't put this much on your face, but just to show you what it looks like. It's coming out as a very thin cream, actually. All right, so let's have a look at what's in here. So it's got first ingredient is water, of course. Then it's got glycerin, so that's your humectant. Then it's got emollients to condition the skin. They use hydroxypinocolone retinoate plus peptides. And this is actually a new form of vitamin A. So this is a very new ingredient on the market. It's actually an ester of retinoic acid, but with less irritation. So this is good for sensitive skin, for mild breakouts, for fine lines, so early anti-aging. I would recommend this for. This is not going to be for your more severe acne, but for mild acne that you get maybe once a month, I'm happy for you to use this. And also, if you are starting to get fine lines and you don't know which vitamin A to go for, so far, this one is my favorite. Moving on to the Ordinary. This is 0.5% retinol in squalane. Okay, this is the OG brand. This is the brand that everyone tries to replicate. This is but the problem is, yeah, when everyone tries to replicate a brand, they replicate the good and the bad. So for example, here we've got lovely minimalist company, love the brand, but they obviously, just taken a lot of inspiration from The Ordinary. So that would include their formulas, but also the bad bit, which is their packaging, which is obviously very, very similar. If I put the two together, I think you'd struggle to see. Is that 0.3? That's 0.5. So they are very similar. They've gone slightly dark on the glass and on the pipette, but pretty much very similar. What I would say is the downside here is the packaging. It is nail safe. Even looks very similar. It comes out the same, blends the same into the skin. However, this is 0.5%. So this actually would now not be allowed in the UK and EU. 0.3% is going to be the max. So they are going to have to reformulate this product. Again, not in Ella's pump. We just don't know how effective it is. So for me, it's a no for skin of color. Moving on to the Dermaco. As you know, I don't ever review this brand. I've literally just started very, very recently. And the reason is that I've collaborated with them on our new range. If it weren't for them, I would not have been allowed or been able, not allowed, but been able to serve my India family. They really were amazing. They held my hand the whole time. We're working, across the continents, and I love the whole family over there. They really looked after me when I went out there, when we launched. So it's almost like saying someone that you love and then you have to critique them online is a very difficult thing for me to do. And the only reason I'm doing this is because you guys, thousands of you requested it. And you all know that I work with the Dermaco and I absolutely love them. Well done. Ella's packaging, I'm loving, so far loving. But I'm going to do my best to be as critical as possible, and probably have to be more critical with the Dermaco, to be honest, because it's not fair on you guys. But well done on this. Let's get to that point. Let's see what it looks like. I actually haven't even tested this myself yet. Here we go with the Ella's pump situation. I am going to have to judge harshly now on this because actually this is the same situation as Foxtale. I can't tell Foxtale off too much now, can I? It's coming. I can feel it. Something's happening. Okay, so just to... Nice. Okay, so it's coming out quite yellow, very creamy, rather than clear, which is fine. So let's go through what's inside this product. So in here, they've obviously put in water, emollients to condition the skin. The fourth ingredient in here is glycerin, so that's your humectant. The fifth ingredient in here is your vitamin C. So they've gone for tetrahexyldecylascorbate. As you know, that's one of my favorite forms of vitamin C. If you don't know, I have actually just today filmed a video on vitamin C's on NYKAA, the best and worst. So go and have a look at that. There's more emollients in here, and then of course the preservatives. So I actually really like this formula. This is a NAFE-safe formula in airless packaging. And actually, I do like this. So there's not much I can say against this. The smell is smell of raw ingredients. It's not a great smell, but it's NAFE safe. So yeah, I'm impressed, Dermaco. Excellent. And I'm actually really critical. And I didn't want to actually review this brand, but I'm impressed. So well done. Moving on to Olay Retinol 24. Olay have done really well. I'm surprised actually. They've done really well, not just in the West, but in India as well. It's one of those brands that I think got in there early and sort of became household name. But this was sort of before the skincare revolution, I would say, that happened during COVID. Because during COVID, we sort of all became very educated on skincare. And it was no longer about, expensive sort of marketing and glossy ads and having Bollywood stars, holding up products on a banner. It changed. I think people became really savvy with ingredients. And that's why I think Olay is probably struggling a little bit in this market, because so many Asian or Indian entrepreneurs have come up in India in this space. I have to say, positives of this is the packaging is gorgeous. My favorite packaging so far from the entire list of everything I've tried so far. Oh, very nice. Interesting. I like this. Okay, does this mean I pump this? I feel like there might be a hole somewhere. No? What is going on? No, hold on. Oh, no, is it like this? No. I'm so confused. Oh! Oh my goodness! What? Did anyone else make that mistake? Look for the hole. Usually you do this and like something comes out, but oh, so you do this, and then you turn it, and then look, it's so clever. I love it. It's a suction pump. Very clever. I love it. Well done. But the only downside with this again is obviously like the whole airless situation. Very beautiful packaging, heavy packaging and bespoke packaging. So I have to give them their dues for this. But let's go through what's actually in here. So I've got to put in water, and then dimethicone, which is your silicones, which is why you're probably going to get a very luxury type feeling off of this. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, so you see that sort of almost like, it gives it this beautiful kind of translucent texture. That's why we use silicone so much. It's got glycerin as the third ingredient. Then it's got starch. Very interesting. Starch is an absorbent. So it's odd that they put that in with retinol, which tends to dry the skin already. Then they put in retinol, but we have no idea what the percentage is. Then they put in retinol propionate, which is a stable form of vitamin A. And it actually has a longer half-life than retinol, which is excellent. But we don't know about the percentages. So this was one of these pre-COVID products where they didn't care about telling us about percentages before really the whole community became very educated on this. The positives of this product is that they put in niacinamide and peptides, which is excellent, and it's fragrance free. But they put in laureth 4, which is 5 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale and 5 out of 5 on the irritancy scale, which is again very odd because why would you do that with retinol? They also put in DMDM hydrotoin, which is a formaldehyde releasing preservative, which I really don't like for anyone actually. I have no idea why they chose this one. So actually overall, I'm not loving this formula, but you can see why it's doing well. You know, the packaging is beautiful and they've got expensive ads. Moving on to Pilgrim Retinol Hyaluronic Acid. Okay, so very good again with the cellophane. What's it say? Hydrates, lifts. Retinol Hyaluronic Acid, lift and firm with pomegranate. This is clever QR code actually. Oh, here we go again. I mean, it's beautiful artwork. They did try with the, you know, the color of the actual jar. It's coming out a bit sort of gloopy. Smells not bad. All right, let's have a look. Now let's see what's in Pilgrim Retinol. So this is your water, then your solvent, which is a propanediol. That's why it's coming out so gloopy. The fifth ingredient in here is sodium ascorbate phosphate, your vitamin C, which I love. It's good that they've done that. It's just the packaging is wrong for the vitamin C. Then they put in hyaluronic acid. The positives here are their anti-inflammatories. So they've put in allantoin and panthenol. And that's actually one thing when it comes to Korean skincare is they are excellent when it comes to trying to protect the skin barrier and to have very hydrating ingredients and anti-inflammatory ingredients. So that's why this is happening over here versus the other products we've looked at today. The negatives in here is the fragrance and the packaging. So as much as they kind of got some bits right, for me overall it's a no. So from today, my two favorite retinols on NYKAA are these two. Now, when I was formulating for India, I wasn't looking to make single active ingredients. I think India does that very well. I wanted to tackle problems, and I wanted to tackle problems by using cocktail ingredients together in the correct packaging, in the correct formulas. And so what I created with our Skin Renew Peptide Retinol Serum Cream was a cocktail of retinol plus retinaldehyde at 0.2%, so within the therapeutic index but without any irritation. I put in 3% peptides, and that helps with your fine lines and also hydrating the skin, which is really important when it comes to heat on the skin. I also put in 1% alpha-arbutin, which helps with hyperpigmentation and dull looking skin. This is what happens as we age as well. It also happens after literally any form of irritation to the skin. For example, one acne mark can lead to hyperpigmentation and dark marks. So I want to tackle that with our serum. And of course, I put in our vitamin C, and I also made sure it was in an airless pump. So this was really important to ensure that we stabilized all of the ingredients. In addition, I want to make sure that we were doing clinical studies on Indian skin in India. So that's really important. And actually the results were phenomenal. 94% saw an even skin tone in just 2 weeks. 83% saw a reduction in wrinkles in 2 weeks. And 75% saw a reduction in hyperpigmentation in 2 weeks. At the moment, there is no hyperpigmentation treatment like this in India. It's the first of its kind, and it's something I'm so proud of, and I hope you guys love as much as I do.